Alright, this is going to be a multiple part video. I'm going to reheat my own driveway using the infrared unit that I built. Probably with the intention of selling the infrared unit, but I also want to demonstrate how it works and everything that's entailed in that. I also want to preface by saying that my driveway is not a good example, as this mix right here was the end of a load at the end of a day of working with a paving crew that I worked for like 2 years ago, and we were just about ready to lose the load. It was starting to get cold and starting to lock up, so the owners of that company said that they'd give me a free apron, which got me up to about yay there. And certain spots it's kind of thick, but for the most part it's only about 1 inch thick, maybe 1.5 inches at best. So it's not really a shining example of what infrared could be, because the heat waves generated from that IR unit is going to get right through this, but then you're also going to see me ripping up all the stuff that's underneath this, which is going to be mostly silts and gravel that washed down over the years from the rest of the driveway, like that stuff like that. So it's not going to be a great example, but it'll be what it's going to be. So I just want to get a little recording of the video, the current state of it. It's still pretty wet. I guess we got some rain last night and into the morning. I swept off what I could, and now I'm gonna get the hand blower, the leaf blower, and blow it a little bit more clean of all this dirt right here. I gotta get up, because that stuff will reflect the IR waves right back up and make it useless, and I want to get the majority of the heat into the asphalt as opposed to getting ricocheted off. So I'm gonna blow it now. On the roof of my truck I have a little action camera that's recording time-lapse video, so I might be able to splice that into this, and we'll see what I get out of it. But I also wanted to demonstrate, in the oddball event that my business keeps going, I could use this video as a demonstration of what infrared repair is, because so far I haven't gotten great video from various mishaps with the recording devices, and it's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I got a multiple purpose thing going on right now. I'm gonna spend the next maybe 2-3 hours I'm gonna put a series of patches right across right here. Here's a good one I did, because this is the only one that I used rejuvenating oils on, as the rest of the front I didn't use any rejuvenator, and that's why it raveled right up. I mean, it compacted pretty good. You can see in my old video, but the rocks weren't really held, because the asphalt cement degraded really quickly from getting heated up and not having it rejuvenated. But that's the difference between with rejuvenator and without. So definitely, all you IR guys out there, use your rejuvenators, albeit CRF or a Big A mixed renew, which is what I got right now. But I'm gonna recook maybe my whole entire front. I don't know. See how I feel after a couple burn sessions and all that. But all right, I just want to get some video going. I'll be back later. And I forgot to go over the IR heaters themselves. So basically I did some upgrades to the way I mount the handrails. And right now I use a tube that goes into there and one pin that holds it, as opposed to 4 different little screws that you had to fight to get in, and it was just a nightmare. This will be the master panel, because it has let me zoom in right here, it has the T's right there, and basically the gas comes in, tees off, goes into the next panel. And because they have the needle valves right here, the elevated pressure behind them basically stabilizes between the panels, and you just adjust what you need on each panel. Also, the metal plate on the inlet tube is where the fans go, and I'll show you those in 1 second. When I sell these, or if I sell them, it's going to come with both of these fans, obviously, with the 3D printed mounting parts that I designed and can easily reproduce by the hundreds if need be, and these little clips that slip over and keep those on the metal plates on that thing. Also included would be this regulator with the T and the pole valves for linking into the both tanks. This regulates the pressure down to about below 60 psi, which is what's needed for the IRs to function properly. Also are these 5-foot high pressure LP hoses, which are needed for bringing the gases from the control unit right there. You can see the underside of what you're about to see the top side of. Inside that box is all the electronics that has the igniters, as well as an Arduino that controls everything, and the timing of that solenoid valve right there opens and closes. So you can either do cycled program times or full throttle mode that I have set up in the programming. Also included would be these connecting hoses, which bring the gas from the cylinders up to the unit. All right, hang on, I gotta stop the video for a moment. Oh. Back to the video. Also included would be the umbilical cord, basically. And here's part B of the umbilical cord. This one has 18 feet of high pressure hose, and this one has 20 feet of high pressure hose, which totals to 38 feet that you can get from the bottles to the heaters. And there's also connecting parts. I run my 12 volts off of this, which ties into the truck's system. I don't run directly from the battery. I always turn the truck on, so that I turn the truck on, and here's a switch that controls the output of the voltage back there, and you can see that wire going up through there. But when that turns on and kicks on and the engine's running, this puts out about 14 volts. And inside of that control unit, there's various buck converters that step the voltage down to the correct voltage for the purposes, which in the case of the Arduino is about 12 to 11 volts, which is perfectly fine for safe operating. But also the spark igniters require a very specific voltage and have to be stepped down from 14. But I didn't want to drain the automobile's battery, so that's why I practice always running this. But you can definitely use a deep cycle battery, which can put out a lot of voltage for a long period of time, whereas in an automotive application, it's a different kind of battery. It's meant for crank, put out a lot of power real quick for a brief period of time, but if you continually drain it, it'll interfere with the capability of everything. So I just got called for a job. That's what that phone call was about. So I'm gonna wrap all this up. I might shoot video later, but I just want to get everything documented. Also, I want to show my other employee, which is this crane right here. It's got a winch on top, and I pull it all the way out to the maximum point, because 500 pounds is way more than that thing. Only weighs 150, and each of those weighs less than 100. So it's more than enough for a one-guy operation. But I just wanted to show everything, and perhaps I'll be back to this later. Bye-bye.